Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
Kid, I need to know. You here, get your number.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Because here's the thing.
Just so you can focus before I go, if something happens to us after we get off this live, in the meantime, I just want you to know I have dropped paperwork, documents, information off to everybody around the world, and I'm telling all of you insurance holders that are watching this right now, if we are dead, there is no point for you to sit on that information. Do you hear me? No point.
Claims about Barack Obama and Joe Biden that the world. How did it get there? Take us through your story.
Well, you know, as young as I remember, I've been trafficked through many elite places. I went from the Buckingham Palace to under the Getty Museum in Los Angeles, still under the custody of Child Protective Services, the child welfare system. And everybody is so worried about the elite, and we could give those names of Barack Obama, Joe Biden. We know about Michelle Obama, that's a man. We know about Too Short. We know about Akon and Steven Tyler, and we can give those names all day, and everybody is so worried about that. But what you should be worried about is the people that are in between, the people that go as low as your grave diggers. I was trafficked to people within my schools.
Katt Williams just made a statement that's turning heads. According to him, Ailey Carter didn't simply disappear, she was taken. Now, before we go any deeper, let's be clear. Everything you're about to hear is based on claims, allegations, and sources reportedly close to the situation. Don't blame the messenger. I'm just presenting the information exactly how it's been shared. Now, one of Ailey's final live streams gave us a glimpse into how serious things had become and how frightened she was. During that stream, she directly called out Diddy and his inner circle. According to her, this wasn't just about wild parties. She alleged they were part of a much darker network exploitation rings that involved vulnerable individuals brought from impoverished countries. Some, she claimed, were even given up by their own families and brought to the US for uses that are too disturbing for most people to comprehend.
You knew these parties were not okay. They weren't freak-offs. They were satanic ritual. And one of those children were me. Bullshit. You see all the people running? They're ducking and hiding because everybody knows that there was children there. But we're still not talking about the kids yet. When are we gonna talk about the kids? Everybody's demanding something from the victims. Why aren't you demanding it from the news? You know he's about to turn into another Epstein, and then the list follows and it circles back into a web. So why isn't anybody demanding any information on the kids? Do you think that thousands of bottles worth of baby oil was for thousands of food? $65,000 worth of hot dogs and pizza was for who? Over the border was for who? Child Protective Services is your supplier. Is anybody gonna talk about that?
In one of the most unsettling moments, Ailey went live and told the world that some of these individuals were forced into acts too horrific to mention. She said, horses, dogs. Y'all connect the dots. Then she added, this happened. While grown men stood around watching, touching themselves like it was some sick performance. And that wasn't all. She alleged that these victims were chained and using what she described as satanic-style rituals. What she portrayed was so graphic, it's difficult to even repeat.
Somebody will on the floor, somebody will piss on the floor, a guy will come on the floor, a female will squirt on the floor, and they will bring in a child to walk through that, to play in it, to lay in it, to put on their body, to lick it, to see if they can walk around and act like a dog, to lick their shoe, to see how well their gag reflexes are. It's a gag reflex check.
But Ailey didn't stop there. She claimed she witnessed all of this while working inside the industry, and the survivors, if you could even call them, that were never the same. She said they were broken mentally and physically. According to her, many didn't survive at all.
There were babies that were 6 years old, and I'll never forget them just crying, and everybody was just staring at them. Everybody was just staring at each other. Nobody knew whether or not to move. I was freaked out. And I got up and I held her. And they opened the truck and they took her from me. Because they said she was already sick.
Shortly after all of this came to light, Ali vanished without warning. No live streams, no updates on social media, nothing. Her family made public pleas for help. Multiple sources confirmed that no ransom requests were ever made, which only added to the concern. If it were about money, someone would have asked for payment, but no one did. It appeared that whoever took her wanted no negotiation, just for her to disappear completely.
When Ali was put in foster care, I was advocating for her, and I was reporting back, and I was writing reports and turning in reports to CPS based on the she was telling me that she was experiencing while in foster care. At first, they embraced me and they were allowing me to have visitation with her. When I started making too many waves, they turned everything back on me. They filed a court order that said I was a predator to Ali, and they were telling me I was not allowed to have contact with her because they were trying to silence things, and they were using that as a means to scare me. Shortly after that, Ali went missing from CPS care. She was AWOL for over a year. After that year was up, they placed her with me. They said I was a good home and a good fit for her, and they allowed her to be placed in my home. Those are two opposite things in a very short time, but they do that to a lot of parents. That's a tactic they use to silence people.
The truth is, Ali had already been sounding the alarm. Before everything escalated, she openly stated that strange men had broken into her home. She made it clear these weren't random burglars. She believed they were professionals sent to track her down and eliminate any evidence she may have had on the people she was exposing.
Just so you can focus before I go, if something happens to us after we get off this live, in the meantime, I just want you to know I have dropped paperwork, documents, information off to everybody around the world, and I'm telling all of you insurance holders that are watching this right now, if we are dead, there is no point for you to sit on that information. Do you hear me? No point. No car accidents. There will be no fires or overdoses. But if there is one, can you read between the lines? There's a call from the prisons. Someone thinks that they have a green light on us that they don't even know what they're talking about.
And she had receipts. In one post, she shared images of her home in shambles, furniture overturned, electronics destroyed, personal items torn apart. Thankfully, she wasn't there when it happened. But the message was unmistakable. They knew where she lived, and they were closing in.
You don't believe me? Here you go. What once was a full house, we were still paying rent on our house. What we were doing this whole time was moving everything because our house is gone. Our house is gone. This is the price of speaking out. This is the price of speaking out.
After that, she posted one of her most emotional messages ever. Her voice trembled, but she wasn't talking about the break-in. She was heartbroken over the silence, the lack of support. The people she thought would back her up were too busy fighting with each other online.
You get re-victimized again by people who wanted to argue a back and forth this week like that mattered. Okay, you had Stu Peters and Timothy Charles Homestead going back and forth, and nobody has even bothered. Not that I give a damn, and not that I understand that you guys are gonna be that selfish, but nobody has bothered to apologize for all the hell.
And as for those allegedly behind it all, here's what she had to say.
Standing Rock Avenue, because everybody has the address, because organizations that were attached to Marks, Sawyer, and many other organizations decided to put out the address, my license plate to one of my cars, and many other of my shit. So here you go. You can have it, right?
And honestly, she didn't come across as someone making it up. Then, she revealed details that left people sick to their stomachs. She described underground auctions, and she wasn't being symbolic. Buyers would physically inspect the victims, checking their teeth, examining their bodies like they were test driving something before deciding to buy.
Picture of a baby. They got a picture of a bunch of kids tied to a wall. That's actually an auction. They're tied to a wall and they're hanging on the wall. That's another form of an auction. Some auctions are very pretty. Some you get to stand. Some you got to be naked. I've had some really weird auctions. Some you're tied to a wall like produce or like retail. And basically like you're picking a t-shirt or you're picking clothes. Buyers come through wherever you're at, wherever they put you, and they literally like, okay, there's a white kid, there's a black kid, there's an Indian kid, there's a girl, there's a guy. They check how big your dick is, they check how much space your vagina has, they check your teeth, they check your anal cavity, they check everything.
And it didn't end there. One of the most disturbing things Ailey brought up was something she referred to as pig night. Be warned, this isn't easy to listen to.
Yeah. Somebody will on the floor, somebody will piss on the floor, a guy will come on the floor, a female will squirt on the floor, and they will bring in a child to walk through that, to play in it, to lay in it, to put on their body, to lick it, to see if they can walk around and act like a dog, to lick their shoe, to see how well their gag reflexes are. It's a gag reflex check.
Ailey explained these weren't just random or chaotic happenings. They were organized events tied to something far more sinister, the harvesting of adrenochrome. While many people may have heard the term mentioned in conspiracy discussions, Ailey claimed most don't truly understand what it means or how it's obtained.
And they're bleeding, then that takes more power because there's adrenochrome, there's power, there's control, there's extra money because you're paying to get rough. There's so much that you guys are not realizing that what this life is. These are children.
She clarified that this wasn't just about shocking behavior for its own sake. The real goal was to make the substance as potent as possible, which required inflicting fear on the victims at levels most people can't even imagine.
And they say, oh, she started bleeding, so now she's damaged. I don't want that one. Guess what? Now you're gonna get beat by your pimp because you started bleeding. You're gonna get beat because, and at first they were sampling you like they were gonna buy you, and now they're not gonna buy you. And then after that, then you go back to wherever. You gotta wait until the next job, the next auction, the next whatever is gonna be next.
So Ailey wasn't just referring to hidden videos or questionable materials. She claimed to have concrete evidence that could have shaken the entire industry from the inside. So when she disappeared, those who were already aware of the situation didn't see it as a mystery. It felt like the next act in a horror story happening in real time. That's when individuals like Katt Williams and Jaguar Wright stepped forward. Jaguar, who already had her own clashes with the entertainment world, refused to remain silent. She had faced her own chaos, being hunted, arrested, and still surviving. When Ailey went missing, Jaguar spoke out with a shocking statement of her own. She claimed the person responsible wasn't Diddy, but someone even more powerful working behind the scenes. A figure pulling the strings and orchestrating the takedowns of anyone who spoke up.
People didn't want to believe it. That's why they attacked me when I took the air out of her story. But see, when Ali Carter came back and, also addressed it, now that's just dead. They wanted to believe those phonies.
And Jaguar didn't stop there. She reminded people that both she and Katt Williams had been targeted as well. According to her, Katt faced a home invasion, not just a burglary, but an actual attack while he was asleep. Thankfully, it didn't succeed, but it shook him so much that he began wearing a bulletproof Kevlar vest to bed.
I've had home invasion robbers at my house. I've had 7 dudes in Cleveland come to the hotel room with their guns out and masks on.
You're kidding me.
No, so I'm like,
Katt never publicly shared all the details, but those close to him said he changed after that event. And honestly, it adds up. Katt's always been the type to speak openly, calling out shady deals, exposing odd industry behavior, whether during stand-up or interviews. He never held back. And because of that, his reputation for being brutally honest is why people are taking Ailey Carter's claims more seriously. Here's the thing, the longer Ailey remains missing, the more credible she seems. And according to multiple insiders, Katt and Jaguar have been working behind the scenes to locate her. Allegedly, before she vanished, Ailey sent evidence and audio files to people like Katt as a safeguard. That's why Katt, Jaguar, and a few others refused to let this go. Because if even a portion of what Ailey claimed is true, then this situation runs much deeper than most can accept. Even some online users couldn't deny it. One commented, "Ailey is the most believable I've heard." Another added, "This is why people stay silent. She was brave to speak up. Hollywood needs to be exposed, and she deserves protection." So, what's your opinion on all this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're digging deep, and if you're here for straight talk and eye-opening insights, don't scroll past, stick around and see what's coming next.